So good morning, class. For today, we'll continue with topic three, part B, and this time we're looking at patterns of inheritance. So we'll be looking at alleles, so the genes that are transferred. So just to give you an example, I hope you still remember when I did discuss the Punnett square before the cancellation of classes. So a purebred would most likely have two identical alleles, meaning it can be both dominant or both recessive alleles. For example, a black mouse that inherited a black allele from each parent. So let's say the dad will have a dominant black allele, and then the mother will have a dominant black allele. So that baby or that mouse will have um, two dominant alleles which are identical. So white mouse that inherited the white allele from each parent will have maybe in this case uh, a recessive um, alleles. Okay, but they are identical. For hybrid, they are different. So maybe one dominant and one recessive. So in organisms with two different alleles for a trait. So example, a black mouse that inherited a black allele from one parent and a different allele from the other parent. Now, this is the part where it gets tricky. So say for example, the black mouse has a dominant black allele and a recessive white allele. So therefore, the color of the mouse will be black. Just be patient. We will be discussing this more um, in the following slide. So like in this case, if black is the dominant, the capital letter B here, then the color of the mouse will be black. Dominant traits. Um, so let's say, for example, if the dominant trait is being black, and this mouse has identical alleles that are both dominant, and let's say the lowercase letter bc will be the recessive. Okay, so let's say what will happen if a purebred black mouse mates with a purebred white mouse? Looking at the Punnett square here. Okay, so B when small letter, capital B, small letter B, capital. So when they combine, you will see here all of the four offsprings will have the dominant gene. In this case, all of the babies will be black. I hope I'm making sense. Okay, next one. Where did the white coat color go? The offspring of this cross are hybrids inherited one allele from the coat color from each parent, black allele from the black parent, and white allele from the white parent. So black allele is expressed obviously because it's more dominant over the white allele. Dominant trait, outward form of a trait observed when two opposite acting alleles are inherited. So you will see here that even if the babies will have the lowercase b, all of them will still be black because the uppercase b is more dominant. Let's go now to the next slide. Recessive traits. So let's say this is what will happen. Let's what So if you have a hybrid, again going back to the definition of the hybrid, you have two different alleles. So now these mouse will have um, the uppercase B and the lowercase b. So, but the uppercase B still is dominant, so that's why the color of the mouse will be black. So that is a hybrid. Uppercase, lowercase, uppercase, lowercase. Now, um, so what will happen, Mr. Cruz, if they did mate? Well, the case is okay, they will have they will have three black mice, and there's a 25% chance of getting a white white mice. And as you can see here, so I have another Punnett square here. So you have they are hybrids, right? So if you will use a Punnett square, so uppercase, lowercase, uppercase, lowercase. So uh, so you will see here three out of four will probably have a black Okay, so probably will turn out black, and then there's a 25% chance of getting a white white mouse here. So like you will see here, one out of four will be white. Chances are. Okay, so it's 75% black and then 25% white. Now, where did the white color come from? The parents are hybrids, and that's why there is a possibility. Maybe I don't know if you will have a like a if you will decide to buy, let's say, two black mouse as your pets, and then when they mate, they will eventually produce babies, right? And you'll be surprised. Oh, why is there a white one here when both parents are white? Right? But that's the thing. So since they are both carrier of the recessive white white allele, then it is possible that they will have white babies. So the parents are hybrids. Offspring inherit one allele for coat color from each parent. So what alleles do to the parents have to give. Okay, so in this case, you have four possible combinations. So using a Punnett square, that's the one that we're using, we'll be able to determine the probability or the chances of getting a baby with a certain color or a baby with certain eye color. That's an example of a Punnett square. So um, you put the alleles here, and then you basically pretty much just cross multiply them. So when dominant allele is present, it is the one that is being expressed. So in this case, as long as you have the uppercase letter B, then the color of the mouse will be black. Um, Recessive trait outward form observed only when two same acting, again, non-dominant alleles are inherited. So, but you will have a lower chance of getting or having that trait expressed. So, white coat color. So, let's go now to the phenotype. So, what is a phenotype? A phenotype is the outward appearance. Black mouse, white mouse, green eyes, blue eyes, brown eyes. Genotype will be the genetic combination of alleles, like the codes that we're using. So, please remember that. So we'll look at some examples here. Identify the dominant and recessive alleles in the following. A blue purebred, so it's purebred flower is crossed with a red purebred flower. All of the offsprings are red. Which one is the dominant? Which one is the recessive? So if you will try to create a code for the blue flower, create a code for the red one, right, well, do your Punnett square, and then you will see why this is happening. Sally has blue eyes, Sally's dad has blue eyes, and her mom has green eyes. Okay, so what will be the which one will be the dominant? And you can just read the rest of them. Okay, predict the phenotype of the offspring of the following cross. A hybrid mouse is bred with a purebred brown mouse. Okay, so you're just being asked, okay, so what is the possibility? Maybe you can also assign if a certain allele for the hybrid mouse will be dominant, then this will happen, and so on. A purebred white mouse is bred with a hybrid. So a purebred white mouse is bred with a hybrid white mouse. So um, okay, we'll assume that one of the alleles from the white mouse will be the dominant. Okay. Pea pods show two different colors, green or yellow. So a pure green pea plant is crossed with a pure yellow pea plant. All offspring are yellow, which trait is recessive. Another cross is done. The offspring are two green pea plants and two hybrid plants. What are the genotypes of the plants? Okay. So I'll just put the questions in a Word document, and I will just ask you to answer them. We'll have a discussion, most likely Wednesday when you're done with, or Thursday when you're done with the assignment. Incomplete dominance. So a dominant the dominant recessive pattern isn't always seen. So like it's a combination of both, right? So say for example, if the color of the eyes of the dad will be blue and the mom will have green, then the color of the eyes of the babies will be blue green. So that's incomplete dominance. In this case, snapdragon plant. So instead of just red or white, it became pink. An incomplete dominance, both alleles play a part in determining the color. So it's somewhere in between. When you have a hybrid, it is a new color. Okay, offspring unlike either parent. So father has black hair, brown eyes. Mother has brown hair, brown eyes. Child has red hair, blue eyes. How does this happen? The inheritance of some traits are too complex to be explained solely by dominant, recessive, or incomplete dominance. It can be another factor, and those are the things that maybe scientists are still studying and trying to determine. A trait may have several different genes and several responsible alleles, so we just don't know how the genes interact with each other.